Hey everybody, Josh Sigurdson, World Alternative Media here. We are here in Vegas. I've had a few drinks. It's night. It's a good time. And we are here with the future president of the United States.
Not president. Thank you very much.
My apologies. Adam Kokesh. And Adam, you've been working on a new website that I think is really important. It's in demand. There's a lot of activists under fire. Literally, we are watching what's happening with the Bundys, what's happening with Ross Ulbricht. I mean, there's so many people that are facing lengthy prison sentences right now. Can you go into this?
There are so many victims of government, you can't keep track of all of us, because really it's everybody at this point, right? No, but specifically, we do have some disturbing trends in prosecution of activists, and I don't mean just in terms of deliberate civil disobedience. You mentioned Ross Ulbricht. You know, we've got the Bundy case where we have 19 men in jail right now, and most Americans have no idea. And even people who are freedom enthusiasts of whatever stripe, who followed the case as things were unfolding in 2014, don't know about the current legal situation. You have, despite the, I think, beautiful point that we get to celebrate now, we are at the beginning of the end of the war on drugs. Very exciting thing to celebrate, but we're also going to see, as the marijuana part of that falls out, that there's going to be increased prosecution around other substances. There's going to be a lot more against activists, as we see happening right now. So yeah, I think it's really important that if we don't hang together, we hang separately, and especially when we see people who are going to jail or prison for no good reason other than serving government power, whether it's to make a point or an example out of someone, or just to put bodies in the machine of the prison industrial complex. It's really important that we stand together right now.
And you've witnessed this for yourself, obviously. Not at the same scale as the Bundys. Obviously, they've been dealing with this for a few years now. But
no, the Bundy case actually goes back a few decades, and it's a sidebar. If you really get into the Bundy case, there is an endless amount of just enjoyable stories to untangle in how far this goes back, and the screwery of the BLM going back decades.
Yeah, and one of the most instrumental rights, individual liberties, intrinsic within us is our property rights, our ability to bear arms, our ability to freely speak. And, I mean, you've loaded a shotgun at Freedom Plaza, and I mean, you didn't threaten anybody. I mean, some people will say, well, that was scary, he has a gun, and he's in Washington, that's crazy. But I mean, really, this is what a lot of the United States of America was founded upon. And this doesn't just branch out to anarchists, it branches out to conservatives, liberals, progressives, even socialists. I mean, people from all ends of the spectrum are being persecuted for just freely speaking and exercising those rights. So it's come to a point where there's a demand. We have a demand for just different ways that people can actually be able to protect themselves against these insane government intrusions, these insane...
Hold on, but before you get to where you're going on this, if I may, because you raised a really important point about how this brings people together. And I was in court for the 4 gentlemen of the Bundy family or Bundy gang, the guys who are in court right now, Parker, Drexler, Stewart, and Loveling, and there were the Socialist Workers' Party reporters representing the socialists at this trial, where you have the people who you would, at least in the crass mainstream media portrayal, the most right-wing people in America, the socialists are coming out to swear them because they say an injury to one is an injury to all. And I got to hand it to them for being able to cross that ideological bridge to say, yeah, the Bundys are being treated unjustly. We want to support them. That was huge. And if I may, about my campaign, since you brought it up,
of course,
running for not president in 2020, I say not president very seriously, because the platform is the immediate dissolution of the entire United States federal government. And you would be shocked if you went out with me talking to people on the streets about how much enthusiasm there is for this idea, how many people understand that America would be much better off. Not just to mention much more free if the federal government didn't exist. And I think what's motivating me now in the more mature phase of my activism, if you will,
Sure.
is being able to see the bigger picture, being able to step back, not be scrambling for views or hits or interviews or whatever the case may be, but really stepping back and thinking, what do we do to shift the paradigm? What do we actually do to move the ball forward? Because we get so distracted by so many things, and the idea of uniting left and right against the common enemy of big centralized government is an important part of my campaign. But also it's why I'm excited about this project, because you don't have to agree with Ross Ulbricht's political philosophy to know that he shouldn't be behind bars serving a double life sentence for operating a website. And that's such a beautiful thing when we see the actual pain and suffering. And as you mentioned, in my case, I got a small taste, 4 months behind bars. But I can tell you, from the time that I spent in jail, when you get those letters, when you get that encouragement, when you see that support on the outside, it makes a huge difference, not just in your ability to endure, but also to stand up when you're facing those legal challenges.
I remember doing videos on trying to call for jury nullification and all that, and it was, there's a lot of people very pissed off, and rightly so, when you were thrown in prison and the flashbang grenades, all that. But I mean, you made a really good point there, though. It's not about us. I mean, it's easy in this kind of business to start to get a little bit high on ourselves and be like, wow, look at what I've done. But
anytime you have to be, and as an activist, someone motivated by a deep-seated sense of injustice, it's like, no, this isn't about me getting on camera, but you have to realize we need communicators, we need champions of ideas.
No, but
people don't relate to ideas, they relate to people. And so, you got to get out there.
That's what I was kind of getting at, though. I mean, it's about the individuals that are watching the videos, how we inspire them, how we create a domino effect. And that domino effect is real, and we've watched that happen, whether it be Ron Paul and the domino effect into the Liberty movement, where so many people came up fighting. And, I mean, yourself, I mean, you've been a big inspiration to myself, and I wouldn't be where I am today if it weren't for watching your videos obsessively and getting a little sleep, because I was just like, I remember just going on binges when I was younger. And it's so important, because that is what leads new people into the movement, and then you influence someone, that person influences someone, and that's what we need. We need more people to it's not about competition in this. It's about just getting as many people on board as possible, and it's so important. And now, just closing it off, Adam, let's just send as many people to this new website as possible. It's going to be launching soon. I think this is important. Like I said, the demand is there, and there are a lot of people being persecuted, and completely unjustly, and this is a great way for them to be able to get their message out. So can we just, what is the link again?
Yes, we'll be live by the time this video goes up. The website is activistsunderfire.com, and the first phase of this website is really simple. I already have a forum set up, a standard bulletin board thing at thefreedomline.com, my main website, where I give my book away for free. But it's functional as a place to post and share information about activists who need that support. And obviously I called it Activists Under Fire. That's a very broad way of describing this. It's not political prisoners, it's not libertarians in jail, it's not, whatever. It's really, let's hang together so we don't hang separately. So go to activistsunderfire.com. It'll redirect you to a part of our forums where you can create an account, you can post, you can share about what you're doing. And we just want to make sure that there is, at least at this point, like you said, a demand met in terms of being a clearinghouse for this kind of information. Just a single place where anybody can post stuff. We can have links to all the other places that you can go to support people who are activists under fire. So please check it out. I can tell you from my experience, like when I was in jail, getting letters is huge. I mean, if we could just bring that humanity back to the people who it's been stolen from when they're isolated. And a lot of, especially activists in jail, I did half my time was in solitary confinement. I know Ross has done time in solitary. There are a lot of people suffering like that, and I think just to make that human connection, to tell them that you appreciate what they're doing for everybody, for moving humanity towards greater freedom, is huge. But also donating to groups that are outside that are supporting them, donating to legal defense funds, helping spread the word, simply having, hey, you want to post a meme to support Ross Ulbricht today? We got your dank stash at activistsunderfire.com.
Make a trend like taxation is theft. Make it with Ross, and get that message out. And I think it all comes down to that old saying: they came for the Jews and I said nothing. They came for the Christians, I said nothing. They came for the atheists, I said nothing. Then they came for me, and there's no one left to stand up for me. And I know it's an overused quote, and a lot of people will probably comment below, like, give me a break. But seriously,
it's a perfect, applicable cliche that is really, it's a beautiful sentiment. I think it's a great one to remind people of every chance that you can.
Well, future president, El Presidente, not president, sorry, Adam Kokesh, thank you for joining us.
My pleasure, as always, Josh. Subscribe.
Yeah,
follow,
subscribe below.
Connect, and support independent media outlets that are bringing you a message you won't get from the mainstream.
Like what we do here at WHAM? Don't forget to check the links below. GoFundMe, Patreon, we can't do it without you. Any donation is very much appreciated, especially as we are so vastly demonetized and censored by YouTube. Also check our Bitcoin address in the description and the comments, as well as on the screen for you to scan if you please. And also find me at Josh Sigurdson at steemit.com. That's steemit.com. The future of social media, where you get paid in cryptocurrency to blog and post. Until next time, this is Josh Sigurdson signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change.